All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Football Fan Zone podcast. We got the OGs back in the building. It's been a long, like 3.5 weeks. We've either had three or two, or sometimes just one person ranting at the camera. I know you guys have been asking for everybody to stand up and be accounted for. We're here. We clocked in, man. We ran out of PTO, bro. What can we do? It's about to be the holidays. The kids need gifts. We got to put in the effort. We got to put in the time. So everybody has clocked in. We're ready to do the shift. Let me check in with the guys and see how everybody's feeling. Pius, how you feeling, bro? How you
Yeah.
feeling?
How do you think I'm feeling? On top of the world, on top of the league. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pius is
8 points clear.
Pius is feeling slutty. The guy's going to go whiten his teeth. Look at him, feeling absolutely slutty.
You can say that again, man.
Yeah.
Ali slot. Na 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 na.
Ateta, now you do this one, oh. Now you do this one. Going on with that, Adams. I don't know. It's Chelsea won, but the mood is kind of tame. How you feeling?
man. Feeling how I always felt, man. Little horse, man. Little horse.
Professional. Oh, that's where we at. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy this episode. I like that. I like that we've begun, and of course our resident title contenders all the way from fourth. Arsenal. Chooks, how you feeling, bro?
Man,
Vibing,
I'm
vibes.
I'm chill.
Odegaard back. You got your joy back, right?
My queen is back, man. It's like reaching the end of a chess game, and you turn one of those pawns into a queen. Let's cook. I'll be what? How many points behind league leaders? 9.
9, yeah.
Don't worry. Mine minor setback for major comeback.
Heard you. Let's see if Pius will say they didn't bottle this time if they don't win the league from this position. We'll see. We'll see if he'll get away. We'll bring back. we'll bring. We'll bring back serious cookies for you if you allow that kind of rhetoric to go. But of course, normally we'd start at the top of the table, but today's agenda it carries a little bit of flair because the biggest goat, the biggest rat that has been escaping us for years, for decades, is finally going to get the cooking that he deserves. One Mr. Joseph Guardiola, one fraudulent bald man running around England claiming to be the best manager of all time. We are going to strip this guy's legacy and we're going to find out what the hell is going on over there in the blue heart of Manchester. But there's nowhere else to start. To me, the shocking result and it's not even just because it involved my club, but the shocking result of the week is Spurs going into the Etihad and upsetting the champions, and not just upsetting them, but upsetting them in dominant fashion. There was only one team in the game. It was a resounding scoreline to the tune of the worst defeat in Pep Guardiola's entire managerial history at home. So we witnessed history. We witnessed something that I don't think anyone here, no matter how much they know about twists and turns, could have ever predicted that kind of result going into the weekend. So I want to first of all start because I have my thoughts on the game, obviously from a biased standpoint. But I want to start with the people that are mostly affected by that result, the people that are in the chasing pack. So starting with the leaders who saw their gap widen due to a win at Southampton. Pius, what was your reaction to that? Well, first of all, what was your prediction going into the game, right? And what was your reaction at halftime? And then what was your reaction after that fourth goal? I want to take me through your range of emotions.
So starting from my prediction before the game, obviously, there was a lot of negativity from the Spurs, from Tottenham side of things, after the defeat at home to Ipswich, a lot of negative vibes. And
Pius, focus on this week.
no, I'm building up my, I'm of course it's part of I'm talking about the point about my prediction, so I have to give you some sort of background. So okay, so I'm sorry. I know I'm taking you back to those sort of memories, but of course it's going to end nice for you, I'm sure, at the end. So yeah, so I didn't expect Tottenham to go there with to beat City, but a part of me looking at I think the day before the game was thinking, Tottenham have always had that sort of like good record versus City in recent time, even when City were flying those 17, I think was it 17, 18 18-19 when Liverpool won the Champions. They went, Spurs went to Manchester City and stopped them from getting to the semi-final of the Champions League. I think that was when I really was like, wow, Tottenham are sort of like a bogey team. There was a time Son and Kane will always terrorize Man City. So there was a part of me who felt like, yeah, something could just happen, but you just be like, nah. After you just give it like a 5-second thought, you're like, nah, you don't see it happening. Especially after Man City were coming off of like a 4-game winless run. You were like, I want to Tottenham that is sort of like having some sort of like bad vibes. They were going to put Tottenham to the sword and get back to their winning ways. But when the game started, I joined the game later. Then I joined the game. I saw 1-0 to Tottenham. I was like, wow. But then the part of you is always like, this one is always the case of now person will call police first. No, I know being go win case. That kind of thing. So you're like, yeah, Man City will find a way, to come back. But as the game went on, you were like, okay, Man City were sort of playing okay, but it didn't look like they were. When Man City is about to score, that there will be that relentless pressure coming, and you're like, the goal is coming. It didn't sort of feel that way. And then you start to wonder, could it just be that Manchester City are on their last leg, and then Maddison, fair play to him, 2-0, and then once that second goal went in, I sort of knew that this game there's no way Man City is coming back. Even when I saw De Bruyne coming in at 3-0, I was like, nah, nothing is happening in this game.
That ball.
So that was when
he's still trying to run that De Bruyne gimmick, bro. De Bruyne is 45 years old, man. Allow it. Bro. Nobody's intimidated by that guy, man. The guy looks like a pop singer. Get out of here, man. That was warming up. I think we'll be trembling in our boots.
Exactly. So from the Liverpool's perspective, that was when I started to, I started looking at our game tomorrow. That was when I started up. I was just in my mind like, Liverpool, don't let it slip. Don't let it slip. Just win tomorrow. My mind wasn't even on the game anymore. My mind was just like, yeah, Liverpool tomorrow. Just get the job done. And there was that sort of excitement that that was building within me. So yeah, I felt like the result at the end of the day, yes, was surprising. I was reading this morning, Man City, they've not lost 5 games in a row since 2006, the era of when their manager was Stuart Pearce. That was the time that they were like in the trenches, as we say. So it's something that is unheard of. I'm just like, my team just had to capitalize, and I'm sure we'll come to Liverpool later on, but I'm glad we did. So yeah, that's how I feel. Have I answered all your questions? Was this?
Yeah, that was kind of the main crux of it. I'm gonna come with a different question for Chuk specifically. So Chuk, you've kind of been in this
camera on policy, man.
But whenever it's on, it freezes you guys. I don't know why my laptop does. Like right now, everybody's face is frozen. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can leave you on as long as it will catch my own face. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, so my question to you is of a different flavor. Like, of course, you've been head to head with City these last 2 years, and in a way, they've kind of had this inevitability about them, right? We all know, like, yeah, they're good with the slow starts. They'll bounce back, they'll overcome it, whoop-de-woo, right? The fact that they've now done 5 losses in a row now, and especially in this fashion to Spurs, coming off of like an exciting time, right? Do you feel like it's going to give you guys the kind of like the oversight that like these guys are actually gettable?
I mean, I don't think so. I thought they were gettable when we almost beat them at home this season. We look like the better side, even with the red card. We still looked very much the more dangerous side, and they managed to escape by I think 96 minutes equalizer. Yeah, the only thing I will say is like Pep hasn't gotten to where he's gotten to in his career without stuff like this not happening to him. So it'll be very, very hard to write him off, even though like right now it just looks impossible. Like they lost 2, you're thinking, okay, they win the next one. Now they've lost 3, they lost 4, they lost 5, and they can lose 6. When is the game at Anfield?
Yes, it's at Anfield.
Yes,
But the thing is, they have the Champions League game I think on Wednesday against Feyenoord at home. So
I mean, like
before the
that's
yeah.
how many league games they've lost.
Okay,
But
so if they lose to Liverpool, it will be
yes,
4 league games in a row.
but I don't know. Maybe it's also because the guy has chased my own team down so many times. It's always hard to just write him off. But they've looked very much more human this season. Maybe because everyone is old. But yeah, they've just looked human. But then again, it's Pep. I don't know. Like in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, this guy now would just flip the switch and download one young academy player that'll start doing craziness. What I even want to talk about, me, I'm not here to discuss title race or anything. Mr. Adams and Mr. Uzo, where is Philip Foden? We spoke about it.
I knew you were going to bring your agenda.
Where is Philip Foden? I can't find him. A
It,
certain world class player.
if I can take that one, he's definitely regressed this season. I don't know what it is. It looks like a mental thing, like, but it's like he came into the season. He was barely playing. It's almost like they wanted to take the season off. Honestly, it feels like these guys are taking the season off. Like the Rodri injury, Foden not being integrated into the team, Diaz was kind of in and out. Stones took a while to get into the team. It feels weird. It feels like the only person that's actually trying is Haaland. The rest of them are just kind of coasting.
So I think the thing about Phil Foden is it's not even a matter of whether he has regressed this season. I think the whole crux of the whole thing is that Saka is a better talent than him.
He
Full
was
stop.
he was never good
Like
to start with.
yeah, like it's not like Saka is better than whether he has regressed or he was at his peak of his powers. So for me, my opinion, I think Saka is a
Adams is
better player than
quiet.
him.
Adam, say something.
Now I already said it. I don't know
I
what
want to hear your voice.
I said it already. I said it during the Euros. I said, man, I don't think Foden is who we think he is.
Man, Foden is Casper. He has disappeared. And you're right. The only person, and to be honest, one thing that makes football so interesting, right, is like I was watching that the Sports City game. Haaland had like 2 to 3 chances that normally
They're actually
yeah. And it's like it almost reminds me of like my own team too earlier this season. There are just some games you watch back and you're like, man, even if they had played that game 10 times, none of those goals would go in because it was just oh sorry, if you had played that game another 9 times, you would have probably won it because goals that normally just go in is hitting Vicarious thumb, is hitting the bar, and then look at I'm telling Uzo, that Madison first goal. Omo, you can give that guy that same chance now, and Ederson will save it every other time. Like everything was just perfect for them. Kulusevski was looking like prime Ozil, huh? Nah, it was. I just wish, like I would say, I just wish my own team hasn't lost as many games as they've lost because it's just annoying that City is fooling around, and there's only one team that's ahead of them. Because let's say they now figure it out. You want to give them that gap to where they're like, yeah, Pep will be like, okay, he's just going to try again next season. Because the idiot has even signed a new contract. So that means me, I'm actually predicting that they're going to beat those charges. Because why else will he sign a new contract if they're not going to beat those charges? So the guy is definitely here to stay. And City have it in them to go overhaul the whole team. And that player that we're not talking about is, what is his name? Savinho. 16 games, 0 goals, 0 assists. Hey,
Wow,
crazy.
I thought you assisted the Haaland goal against Arsenal. That first goal.
Which assists?
Oh wow.
I think he's just on 0 goals. I think he's had assists, but I don't. I mean, I think he's far from their problem. Honestly, far from it. Like the middle of the park. I saw someone telling me Rico Lewis is a Swiss Army knife. You can play him anywhere. And all I could think of was that Bart Simpson meme where the guy is playing chess with 3 different people and he's losing all 3 games. Rico Lewis is absolutely honking him, no matter which position you put him, bro.
Rico Lewis is not a Swiss Army. Is that a fucking knife, man? That's a knife. It's not no Swiss Army knife, brother. Yeah, like
He's
everything
playing
just
3
off.
positions, but he's playing all 3 to the same level of trash. I don't know. This is not the City that to me that went 4 in a row. This is not the same team. Obviously, we say this every year. but this is like literally physically not the same team. These are not the same guys.
And we actually
So
do say this every year. Like
right, right. But this is the first time
that
where you
guy
can see
gives
like
you. But I
those
don't know,
guys are just
man.
not there. Those guys just aren't there. But coming to you, Adams,
Mhm.
I've kind of allowed everyone to touch on the part that affects them. So you, as the finance guru, you guys have dropped 1 billion in the last year and a half. What do you think is the remedy for this in January? Like, what can they realistically do, right, to wreck? Because at the end of the day, they've lost 5 games in a row. They're still in good shape in Champions League. They're out of the Carabao Cup, but they don't really care, and they're second in the league with a chance to go to Anfield and make it a 5 point gap going into the run-in. So it's not all doom and gloom in terms of like their long-term season goals, and they're right around the corner from the January window where they can actually address the squad issues. If you're the sporting director, if you're the coach or you're the advisor, what do you think is the realistic path for them to get out of this hole?
Yeah, I think they do. They definitely need some players. They need to freshen up the squad a little bit. I don't know if January is the right time because generally people are always overpriced, and you never people don't really want to release their price assets in January. I'm struggling to think of a name right now that will come and improve things. Yeah, you need some signings might lift the mood and change things, but I don't think January is the right time. For me, I'm more so worried about December. Like they have to ride through this period first before even the January transfer window. Because December, the fixture list is going to pile up, and they'll have a game every 2 to 3 days.
It is.
So yeah, I'm worried for them because their squad looks really thin. Everybody seems to be out of form, and yeah, that game against Liverpool, it should be like a final to them. Whatever they do, I think their season rides on that game. Whatever they do, they need a win. They need a win in that game if they're continue to be in the title race. So for me, I'll say they just need to focus on the December games and getting that result against Liverpool, which seems very impossible right now. But that's the thing, and Trips was saying it right. Those chances, like how Haaland missed those chances, and another day he probably gets 1 or 2 goals. So it's not exactly like they're not creating chances or they all of a sudden don't know how to play. There's still a lot of elements of what they know how to do, right? They're still doing a lot of things that they know how to do very well. But for some reason, it's not just falling in place. Haaland has not scored since when? I think the Arsenal game also. And so, yeah, it's not like it's all completely doom and gloom. They just need to ride through this difficult period. Like I said, the Liverpool game is very important. Their season depends on that game. If they can win that game, then they can look towards January. But I don't see any marquee signing in January that changes the season for them.
Yeah, so to me, that's the perfect segue. Speaking of the Liverpool fixture, because we are going to come to the league leaders and the champion elect as far as we're concerned right now. Sizable gap at the top of the table.
Which champion elect this guy?
I
I
like
beg, I
that, man. I
beg.
like that. We have to keep it consistent, though.
We do have to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Liverpool fans do this, right? All of last 2 seasons, they were very comfortable with trolling Arsenal fans and calling them all kinds of front runners and all kinds of expectations.
I beg, I
And
beg.
now that
Leave it.
you found yourself in the exact same spot, you want to try to rewrite history.
You know what is killing me?
I will
In
keep it.
November, you're saying champions
I
elect.
I will keep it consistent. I will keep it
So,
consistent.
suddenly the guy doesn't like twists and turns. The guy doesn't want any turning. Highway. The guy said, just give me one road.
If I had my way, I would take
Nah,
the Trump.
but okay,
Stop the count. Stop the count. Oh, my goodness.
Nah, bro.
But yeah, so Liverpool are top of the table. They're flying. Still just the one loss to Forest. I think 2 draws. Is it 2 draws or 1 draw?
I think
No,
it's
one draw,
just
right? The
just
draw
one
to
yeah.
Arsenal. So listen, Liverpool are absolutely flying in red hot form, leading the pack, and honestly, you guys are looking in good shape. I think last year a lot of people were saying it doesn't feel like you can do this consistently because it felt like the team was a bit fatigued. It felt like they were kind of just getting over their skis. But there's a systemic approach now. Like, granted, I think the criticism has been you rely too much on Salah for goals, but that's kind of how it's always been. Um, but the rest of the team looks solid as a unit. It feels like there's a lot of breakout stars, the Curtis Joneses of the world, the Graven Birches of the world. Van Dijk is back to his old form. Keller has slotted in perfectly in the back. So my question to you is not even about winning the league. Like, I think you're obviously going to be cautious and you're going to approach it from that perspective. But what do you think is the result that you need against Manchester City in this upcoming game? Are you looking at that game as draw minimum, just don't give up any ground, or are you looking at let's go put a nail in their coffin, let's go get out ahead of this and see if we can keep the momentum going? What's kind of your approach? And then also, second half of that question is now what's your evaluation of Slot? Because the last time we talked, there was still a lot of questions. You were still trying to see if you believe. We've had 3 or 4 weeks since then, a lot of massive results, a lot of massive wins. Where are you at now on Slots? Surely you're convinced, right?
That second part is it. Okay. Let me start with the first one. I think the simple answer is I'm not taking a draw, bare minimum, nothing. We have to win that game. I'm not taking
Chooks,
any
watch
draw.
and learn. Watch and learn. This is it. This is how you do it.
I'm not taking any draw against Manchester City. When you feel like, when you sort of like you smell blood as a predator, you have to strike. And I think Liverpool has to strike. Like, I'm looking at this week. Now, this week we have Madrid at home in the Champions League, and then City on the weekend. And I'm just like, my priority is the City game. I don't care what happens in the Madrid game. I think we're fine where we are in the Champions League. We can afford one loss against Madrid. I know some other Liverpool fans want sort of revenge or want to beat Madrid, but that's for them. If we win the game, fine, I'll be happy. But my focus for the team is that game against Manchester City, because the way I'm looking at it is 11 points gap to Manchester City. I think that's some that kind of like almost effectively takes Manchester City out of any sort of title equation.
Or
I know.
it might be the biggest body drop in history.
You know what?
Adams,
Of course, you cannot. Of course,
Adams, let him cook. He said a win against City effectively takes them out of the race. So now we can hold him to that standard. If they win and you don't get it done, then if if they're out of the race and you let them back in,
Exactly. Yeah.
keep moving, Paris. I'm enjoying the meal.
yeah. So yeah, of course, as a Liverpool fan, of course you'll be a bit, you'll be cautious that things can happen. What, like somebody said, how are you sure Liverpool can all go on their own 4 or 5 games losing streak? It can happen. It can happen. So, but I don't want to look at it. I don't, as a fan, I'm optimistic. I don't want any sort of negative vibes or we can lose 3 games. No, I'm not having that. Beats Manchester City on Sunday, 11-point gap, effectively takes them out of the title race. Then I can now start looking at maybe Arsenal or Chelsea, who are like Adams, why you laughing? Who are like the closest sort of like rivals, So that is what I think should happen. The team just needs to be focused for that game. No mistakes, no silly passing out from the back. And I think this season so far, something key that has sort of like helped us a bit is, I think, what's his name now? Ibrahim Konate, him staying fit has really helped us. And that's been one of the worries for a lot of Liverpool fans. He's a good defender. You can rank him anywhere you want to rank him. But there's been that feeling that he's not someone that you can rely to stay fit. So I'm just hoping that. Sorry?
Just 11, 12 games in.
Yeah, but he's been immense. I think this is the longest run of his.
I'm talking about his fitness.
I know, but I think this is the longest run in his Liverpool career of starts that he hasn't been injured. So it's if Rich James did this, they would have knighted the guy by now. If Rich James puts 11 games together of starting, man, what? They might give him the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, so that's, I just picked him out as one key player that I think he needs to stay fit for us to sort of like, have that chance of winning games consistently. So yeah, good place. Sunday, Liverpool, please go for the win, go for the jugular, strangle Manchester City, kick them out of the title race, and then we cook from there. And then to the second part of your question, and it's Slot, I think I'm beginning to, what's the word now? I don't know what to use, to fall in love let me use that phrase, I'm beginning to fall in love with this manager. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he sort of like his in-game management as well. Because I was reading some sort of from a local Liverpool journalist who was like he's sort of like being impressed with his overall sort of like in-game management, substitutions, in terms of like trying to swing the game, or maybe the team is under pressure, trying to hold up to a lead. So I think he looks like a solid tactician, and the players have also said that wow, in sort of like training sessions, his tactical awareness is off the charts, which is something some Liverpool fans were sort of like was like used to they used it to hold against Klopp that he wasn't tactically sound enough, and another thing that they also mentioned is his discipline. It felt like Klopp was he's good, arm around the shoulder, pat them at the back, okay, it's fine. But it seems like Slot is more like a disciplinarian. Salah was saying somewhere in an interview that he's very blunt, he's always like, today you played rubbish, and he will tell you, he will say it as it is, you were bad today. Like you're sugarcoating it to say, oh yeah, we know you had it, but no worry, I'm around you, I know you have a better game. He will tell you that point blank, you are rubbish today. So I like that about him. I think there's that discipline which I think will take us a bit further than what happened last season. I just feel like there is this what's the word now? I don't know how to put it, but there's a bit of difference which I see this team will have because of slots, which will ultimately take us over the line to win the Premier League. If we are at this stage, come say March or April, we have like the 8-point or 7-point gap. I think slots will take us over the line, and we're going to win the Premier League. And then I'll come back and laugh at people that always say Liverpool won Premier League in 30-something years. It's now time for me to start saying Arsenal won Premier League in 22 years. Chelsea won Premier League in Tottenham won Premier League in how many years? You can do the math yourself. Thank you.
I don't know why you ended on violence. We're all nodding ahead with you. We're even happy. This is why you can't let people have good things. But I mean, I was honestly going to say, I think one of the key differences for Liverpool going into this season is Gravenberch. I think one of the biggest weaknesses last season was you saw the over-reliance on McAllister. He was playing pretty much an unnatural position. Wataru Endo. These are guys that, they were playing above their ability, and maybe not so much McAllister, but he was playing above his ability in terms of the position that he was being deployed in. And now you kind of have these guys that are maybe not so much specialists, but they have the ability to play that position. Curtis Jones, I know this is going to make Oval cream his pants, but Curtis Jones playing in his natural position, Gravenberch playing in his natural position, and he's getting the best out of these guys. So, credit to Slot. I think eventually reality will hit, and it's about how you deal with the adversity. But so far, so good. It's like nobody can fault that. So coming down the line to the next closest challengers, the West London Blues, $1 billion spent, and finally they're in the conversation. So I guess that guy that was saying buy $1 of Bitcoin, he was finally proven right. Chelsea bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they're finally getting 10 cents out of it. So let's come over to the $1 billion bottle jobs, the Cowboys of London. Is actually looking good. Adams is looking good. It's professional. Winning is the baseline. You play good, you play bad, you're getting the points. This is a stark difference to last year. You're looking good in the league. There's no worries about relegation. There's no worries about going toe to toe with the bottom of the table and needing passion and desire to beat Ipswich and Norwich and the likes. So players are firing. Nicola Jackson, it looks like he's a man reborn, just firing goals every week. I know the buzz has kind of died down. I'm not really sure why, because you've kept winning. But where are you at with Maresca? I think maybe because Slot is overshining him as like, okay, a new manager that's also killing it. But I think without Slot, like he would be the guy where it's like, wow, new in the league, third place, above Arsenal, been to Anfield, played Arsenal at home, still in good position. So what is your assessment on Maresca's reign so far? And what is kind of your mood on the team? Does it feel like a conflict of expectation? Like, are you not sure if to raise the expectation or if to keep it at the same? Because they are meeting expectation. Do you want more? Where you at?
I think that's a very good question. Start with Maresca. Obviously, you need more games. You always need more games. I still feel like 12 games is still a really small sample size. But having said that, he's excelled. Like he's done very well from the time that he got here. And you just look at the little details, right? Paris was talking about discipline. It does feel like this team is a lot more disciplined. I mean, you guys know all about it. You saw Jackson, Madueke, Palmer, fighting for that penalty kick, things like that, right? Your coach saying, he doesn't have a designated penalty taker, and the guys can just figure it out within themselves. And this guy here, is laying down the blueprint, even openly saying that the captain of the team is not very vocal, right? Saying, he needs more leadership from the team. So he's not afraid to.
Even if you remember the yellow cards, I think Jackson was on pace to get 20 yellow cards. That he got that suspension really early for his striker. It was like, bro, what is up with this guy's discipline?
It was just needless yellow cards. He was picking up yellow cards everywhere. And you can see that in the team. And another thing is you can see the fight from the team, right? That's a hallmark of a Chelsea team. Everybody's fighting for themselves. It does feel like, I mean, these are things that are normal, right? These are things that every successful football club should do. But yeah, he seems to be hitting the right notes. He's saying all the right things. But I'll say my assessment of him should come I'll say maybe January, and then I can really see where I'm at with him. But because I'm looking at the table, and I still don't think that's our true position. It's still very tight. It's still very tight. One loss, and we might be 8 or
Should
7.
you be higher or lower, dude? What do you think if it's a false position?
No, I'm just saying like we're fourth, we're third, but it's very close. Like it's very close. Like teams behind us, I think 1 point, 2 points. So a loss, and if we're 8 right now, we'll be saying the same thing, and we're 2 points off of being third. We'll be saying the same thing. We'll be like eulogizing Maresca like this. So I'm still cautious. I still feel like we need to solidify the top 4 position because this season is going to be a hell of a race for top 4. Right, I'm looking at guys like Spurs, Aston Villa, and Man City. If Man City are not going to be good, then they'll be in the top 4 race with us, which is going to be scary as well. So, like this December, we have a really favorable run of games, but it's a game every 2 to 3 days, and this is where the squad comes in. A lot of Chelsea fans have been screaming or shouting about the team B. This is now where we see how good the team B is, right? Because we need the squad and we need all the players to come in. So yeah, to answer the question, yeah.
I want to say the team B has not been tested. When you are testing, they've been testing themselves against Noah and Panathinaikos.
That Noah game, I was not watching Conference League, man, because it was, what was that? Like, I'm like, nah, I don't think.
You would have been better off playing Chelsea versus Football Fan Zone FC, man. We just organize ourselves.
Let me ask Adam this question. So, if looking at that Conference League, if Chelsea does not win that Conference League, do you think
it will be really
rival the bantering will be?
It will be the biggest bottle of all time. There's literally nobody in the entire tournament.
I think it's Real Betis.
I will even say this, Adams, if you have to at any point send your first team to win a game, that's already a failure yourself. Literally, that second team should win that cup. They should.
And
Interesting.
They should. No lies. They should. Noah and Servette, all the teams will be facing. I think the best game I've seen is against
Twists and turns, my people. Twists and turns.
There are no twists and turns anywhere, man.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, Adam. Sorry.
What was your second question, Uzo? Go ahead, sorry.
My second question is: Are you in a conflict of expectations? Like, do you feel like it's time to raise them?
Nah,
Because the team is meeting expectations, but it feels like the fan base is kind of like ready to explode. Like you're ready to feel like you're even above where you are. So,
nah,
do you need a run of like 6, 7 wins? Like, what is it?
nah. I think we're fine where we're at. I don't think we should jump the gun. Like I said, it's still really close. It's still really close in the battle for top four. One loss, and we might be seventh or eighth. So yeah, it's still really close. I think when you see games like and there are moments in a game like you talk about Liverpool and it just feels like apart from the Southampton game, it always feels like Liverpool are in total control of the game. But there's still moments in the game where it does feel like well, a little bit suspect and even that Leicester City game, there's some chances that they had, and we still have some positions where we talk about the goalkeeping situation. That's still something we have to deal with. We might have to deal with like that position alone is probably going to cost us what 6 to 9 points throughout the season. So yeah, I don't think the right back position as well. Gusto always in and out of the team, not always fit. With James as well having his injury worries, have to play maybe for Fana or Disasi. So there's still things that we're still working through. And you guys like to make the joke about Noni, who I feel, by the way, I feel Noni is almost like Noni and Jackson. They get the same reaction. People always overreact when they don't play well. I don't know why. And there are other guys in there that cost more, or maybe should be more talented, and nobody really bats an eye when they don't play that well. Everybody's just like, okay, that's okay. But once it's Noni or Jackson, when they have like a terrible game, it's all over the internet and everybody's screaming. So I'm not worried about Noni. The game against Leicester City, I feel like it was blown out of proportion. Yes, he blocked that Palmer chance, which was crazy. But apart from that, I felt it was okay. And I said he probably needs a run of game on the bench because obviously he needs to know that that position is not his. Like we have Neto, John Felix. By the way, I was surprised. I was surprised by his performance yesterday. Or 2 days ago. I wasn't expecting too much of him, but I think he did well. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the busy December period, and that will really show me what this team is about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very interesting the kind of the mood around Chelsea because I think Liverpool are really doing you guys a disservice because if there was like a most improved title to be won, you would have thought like, oh, naturally, with what Maresca has been able to do, coming into what everybody claimed was the worst job in all of football. They don't have anywhere to change. Players are sharing jerseys. They're peeling the name off one jersey at halftime to give the other guy and give him a new number. And he's coming, he's stabilized it. The team looks good. There's a bare minimum expectation now. People are even now debating performances and wins. They're not even just taking the 3 points anymore. So yeah, credit to him. Obviously, the bald man upstairs is doing a better job, but I don't think that's really down to anything that Maresca could have done any better, especially based on his fixtures. He's played City, Liverpool, and Arsenal already, and he finds himself third within striking distance. So, yeah, credit to him. I honestly have been trying to gauge the mood in the Chelsea fan base. It feels like the admirals are ready to riot. They are ready to flood the streets, but they just
Calm
need
on,
a few.
calm on.
They just need a few more results. They
We
just
need, we
need.
need, we need. I think the big thing is the big win. That's the like if Chelsea gets a big win, then it's going crazy, man. It's
That's what
going.
I'm saying. Have you seen that meme that say observation no be crime? That's all Chelsea fans right
You
now.
guys,
They're
you
all
guys,
they're
you guys,
all observing.
you guys don't have Tottenham left to play now.
What?
Yeah, we play them in a couple weeks.
That's the only top six game you have left this year.
Nah, Tottenham is not a big win for us, man. User knows that. Like,
Oh,
that's
they played United. Yeah, you're right. They actually
Yeah,
played
it's
United,
only you guys left.
Liverpool.
So
Yeah,
what would be a big win?
I mean,
no, that's what I'm saying. They haven't won any of
we
those
haven't won
games.
any big six side apart from Tottenham. Like we've
They won't be happy with a Tottenham win because again, it's just Tottenham lads, 3 points, whatever. That doesn't really reflect where Chelsea are. It's the same way with us and City. Like us beating City doesn't come as like a oh my god, Spurs are serious. It's like no, bogey team is to be expected. But I agree with you, Adams. I think even a win against like a Villa or a Newcastle would be very like resounding. Like it'll really get the 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 team excited. I think with Newcastle,
Yeah,
They,
we
did
they
you
won.
beat
beat them
Newcastle
in the
beat.
We beat them
you
at.
beat them in the cup and then drew
No,
in
we
the
beat
league?
them. We lost at the cup and we beat them in the league.
League,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, fair enough. So yeah, I think with Chelsea, it's interesting. It just feels like the fan base is ready to pop. You guys are just right there on the edge, and he's a few good results away from absolutely turning this whole place upside down. So credit to you guys. Of course, not least in any sense of the word, our title contenders, our biggest challengers, Bor Constrictor FC, Martin Odegaard FC, the
Inter
Godson
Malaria FC.
FC, Things Fall Apart FC. They are here in their full glory. The vibes have changed. The vibes have changed. Arsenal fans are ready for a civil war, a mutiny, just a couple weeks ago. But the difference that a captain can change, and before I even bring Chooks in, I have to. I'd never credit Arsenal on this platform, and I won't start now. But I just have to give my flowers to Martin Odegaard. I said on this podcast last year, I was like, this guy is better than Bellingham, and I expected this to be some pushback. Surprisingly, most people online were actually in agreement. Like, yeah, that should be a no-brainer. And I think seeing what this guy is like, forget about the footballing side. We already knew what he was, but just from the spiritual side, like how he was able to like really lift this team up out of the doldrums of the bad results and feeling like everything was. I'm seeing Arsenal fans now saying that 9 points is nothing. That Liverpool are not winning this league. That they're saying confidently they're going to hawk them down
Yeah,
simply
Liverpool's
because
gonna
one man
crumble.
is fit. So credit to Martin. He's brought the vibes back. You see, Chooks is his tag is just vibes. So Chooks, how are you feeling? You've got your queen back. Let me ask you a specific question first. Um, so I always have to get a little negative. There was no Declan Rice on the weekend, and it looked like Arsenal's best performance since 22-23 in terms of fluidity, chance creation, interchanging. It felt like you guys just had Nottingham Forest beat from minute one. It didn't matter what they did, they were going to lose that game. They were second class citizens. So do you have a Declan Rice problem? What did
No,
you make of that performance?
he was on the pitch when we gave West Ham 6.
But that was all set pieces.
Yeah, but it's still the West Ham didn't have a sniff.
Okay.
Then again, this was a Forest midfield with somebody called Dominguez and what Prowse. It's not
Did
like
Yates play? But he didn't get Yates to
No,
come.
Yates played. He
yeah.
played. He played. He
Yes,
got a
play.
yellow card.
Brian
To
Yates.
be honest, guys should free the Clan Rice thing, man. It was just the captain coming back. Because whether Rice is there or Jorginho plays without Odegaard, the midfield is not it. You can play any combination you want to play. Just like the way he's able, and the thing that makes him the most important is how he's able to to take Saka to another level. Like the way him and Saka can combine, like that. That first goal was all Saka, obviously, but some of those little passes, and I see people saying all the time before when he was out injured, we don't have that what's the word, penetration. Like there's no that that little penetration in those key areas. Like we're not doing that. So it was refreshing, even against the Chelsea game at 50%. You already saw the difference. Adams is lucky that the guy was not at 80%. You saw what happened when a real gunman came to the town. Cole Palmer was cold, didn't it? The guy was actually cold.
Nice.
Cold, cold catch up, or as my people will say, oh, you know, Tumo. Maybe I'm catching cold when a real gunman
Madu.
is on. And myself, I will also say, Uzo is right, man. The guy, I don't think he's our best player, but I think he's the most important player to this team. Like everything he brings, leadership, captain, like even on AFTV, they were saying it that even the players are playing different. Maybe it might just be Nottingham Forest were just unfortunate to come at the point where we didn't need to win, but we needed like just a performance. But like I was watching it too, I'm like the players are they are showing more fight because you see him, he's leading the press. He's like he's never tired. He's always running. He's always communicating. So I enjoyed that performance. My captain, my queen, my king, he's back.
I'll say even as a neutral, that was like the first time like since 22, 23 where I felt like, okay, this is that like kind of exciting interchanging quick play that 2020 22 23 season really like catapulted them into the race. Um, to allow Pius to allow you to chime in because you've been quiet for a while. Right now, you can say if City continue in the way that they're going, right, maybe they're going to go south, right? Assuming you beat them in this upcoming fixture. What do you make of Arsenal as challengers in terms of the run in now? Like, let's say you've beaten City next week. Arsenal have won their game. You're 9 points clear. You clearly have said that the title was not done. So clearly you have a healthy amount of respect for their ability to come back. Do you feel like what you just saw kind of gives you like, okay, this thing is not over? Like
Yeah,
that last performance, do you feel like it's one of those performances where you're like, okay, they're still in this, like it's gonna take some beating?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I thought Arsenal played the best football I've seen them play. It sort of took me back to some, I think towards the end of last season where they were sort of like just steamrolling teams and then hoping for Man City to drop points. So yeah, of course, Arsenal are still, of course, they're still in the mix. You can't rule them out in terms of the quality of players that they have, Odegaard, Saka. So of course, Liverpool fans, I'm sure. And one thing I always do is people I feel like are my sort of direct rivals or people that I know that okay, yeah, they're a threat to my team's position. I'm always looking at the fixtures as I'm looking at my team's next 2, 3 fixtures. I'm calculating, okay, this is where we can win, or this is a fixture that we can drop points. And I'm also looking at the teams, and Arsenal is that one of those teams that I'm looking at their fixtures and I'm like, okay, this is Arsenal's next 3 games.
You're
Okay,
not you're looking at Chelsea's fixtures. They are third place, so
I'm sorry. For Chelsea, I just knew that next game. I
That
didn't go
that
beyond
dark horse.
ah,
Chelsea dark horse. But yeah, but
I
of
have
course, sure.
two horses in the race, so my real horse and the dark one. Don't play.
So so yeah, of course, but just based on what Arsenal has done in the last like few seasons in terms of what they've been, where they found themselves challenging Manchester City. So of course, yeah, they are still going to be in the title race, and yeah, they welcome Manchester United in some 2 weeks time. So what does Ruben Amorim have? We'll see. So yeah, but the thing about it is when you're a team like Arsenal, you're chasing a Liverpool or a Man City who is sort of ahead of you. You just know that you just have to win your game. It's not even. When I was reading some of the comments from Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, they watched the Liverpool's game and they saw that Liverpool is not so good enough." In my mind, I'm laughing because I've been where they've been before. You're sort of distracted to say, "Oh, these are the people that I want to catch." But at the end of the day, you're sort of not looking at your team to say, "Oh, are you sure there are not some games that how if we drop points before the people that want to catch drop their own points?"
Yeah.
So you just have to look at it that way too. But I'm sure because of the performance that they had over the weekend, I've seen comments like, "Oh, we're going on a run now, 10 games, we're winning on you." But of course, as a football fan, you'd be optimistic. But twists and turns, like I would say, just keep your eyes peeled. Cool.
Okay. So finishing with you, Adams. You you have a little horse in the race, as you said to start the episode. So we're holding that. That's going to be the title. The little horse. The little horse. Okay.
Little blue horse.
You've actually played Arsenal, and you've actually also played Liverpool, and you find yourself, within shooting distance. You're clearly ahead of Arsenal right now. You're within 9 points of Liverpool. What does that performance? And you've also been one to say. I was saying here 2 weeks ago that I felt like Arsenal had an identity crisis. You were the only one on the pod saying, for you, there's nothing wrong with Arsenal. They'll be fine. They'll be okay. People are overreacting. Do you feel validated, vindicated with that performance? Also, where do you see yourself relative to Arsenal in terms of your progression? I know you're not going to say you're in the race or anything like that, but where do you see yourselves, like, having played them, having seen how they bounce back now and where they at? Do you feel like you're closing the gap where do you feel like your team is relative to them, and what do you think their prospects are, based
Yeah,
on what you said last week or 2 weeks ago?
yeah. I'll start with that question. I'll say like they respect us more, and that's a positive thing, right? After the game, even after the Liverpool game, you hear from their fans. It's not like, oh guys, you guys just came in. There's that respect there, and that's what you want to hear when you play rivals. Obviously, we're still behind them, and but the improvements we've made over the course of what not even half a season. It's tremendous, right? The last time we faced them, it was 5-0, right? The next time it was 1-1, and the performance was a lot better. Like we could have, at some moments in that game, I felt like we could have won, right? So I felt like we're closing the gap, and that's where I want my team to be. I want my team to position themselves closer or very close to the best teams in the league, and you never know what happens from there because you need other elements to win titles, right? And I feel like it has always played in Chelsea's hands. Chelsea know how to win titles, right? It's not just about playing the best football. We always we have the element of having the resources to get the right players, also players staying fit at the right time of the season, and which is what you need to win the league. Which somehow I feel like that's going to affect Liverpool because I just feel like there'll be times where some players will be missing in action due to injury or form. And for Arsenal, like I said, man, I always knew Arsenal. You're not gonna tell me all of a sudden they forgot how to score goals. And by the way, Bukayo Saka, world class player. Like every element of his game is like at a 7 out of 10. I'll say like every phase of play is like 7 out of 10. Fantastic talent, what a guy, and he's proved us wrong. And that's the thing about fans, right? We have to hold guys accountable, and we have to do this for everybody. We can't just select, pick and choose who and who, right? So now you've been able to do this. Now the next step is can you win a title for your team, right? That's all we're always going to do. We're always going to raise the bar high and say, okay, can you do this? So you've done this now, or you can win a Ballon d'Or, or you can't win a Ballon d'Or, then okay, you're not that level. So now the next step is can you lead your team to a title? We'll see, okay, you're legit, you're a good player, you're good. Now to be there, right? Like the same thing we asked for Mary Kane. Can you win a title? No, you can't. Okay, then we're not putting you some conversations. So now can he win a title for his team? So that's the question. I do feel like Arsenal is going to get, content with Liverpool. I don't, like I said, the table is kind of false for Chelsea. Not in terms of league position, but just in terms of the gap and the league points. I just still feel like anything can happen, right? We could have lost one game or win one game and I'll be probably fifth or sixth. So I don't want to put us in that title conversation just yet. I think Arsenal and Liverpool, it's going to be a very long season for Arsenal and Liverpool. They're going to be head to head. I know there's that gap right now, but yeah, I know Liverpool are going to drop points. They're going to drop points for sure, and it's left to Arsenal to capitalize. Like Price was saying, don't look at Liverpool too much if you're an Arsenal fan. Worry about yourself, right? Worry about yourself. And Odegaard, I had no idea he was this important to the team. I didn't know. Like this stretch showed me, like okay, some Arsenal fans are actually right that Odegaard was that guy, and that's the thing. Like your team might not play well in some games, and maybe the main guy on your team might not play well, but there's a difference if he doesn't even play at all, right? You start to see the difference. Like, okay, even if he's not playing well, at least he's contributing in another way. That fear factor is still there. But if he doesn't play at all, it's a totally different thing. You want to talk about Cole Palmer over the past, 4 games? He hasn't been the Cole Palmer that we are used to, right? He's probably missing the GA, but there's still little things that he contributes to the team, and you can still see that in there. But if you take him out, it's a totally different complexion, right? And he'll be a great miss to the entire team. So I think Arsenal are going to be thereabouts for sure. I know goal scoring will be their problem, and now they have Odegaard back. You talked about Declan Rice as well. I don't think it's that much of a big deal, but and it's scary. Ethan Waneri is starting to look like a problem. And that kid looks like he's good. And one thing that I like Arteta for is he doesn't listen to the noise, right? He just does what he feels is best for the team. And people have been clamoring for Waneri to start. Oh, he's the next big thing, trust him in. We don't have Odegaard, let him start. But, slowly but surely building him up to get into the team. And when the time is right, we'll start to see him more. And the kid also feels like, he has something to prove. Like he's itching to play, which is something great. So yeah, Arsenal. It's going to be an interesting season ahead. Liverpool, one thing, man, don't bottle this one because it's not going to be pretty for you guys. Just don't bottle this one.
Man, Pius, let me actually be on your side. And this is not me trolling. I was even telling Uzo, as a neutral, the only silver lining I'm going to use to console myself from not winning the league is if anybody deserves reparations for the harm that Pep has done. You guys actually. My dad's a Liverpool fan. I
I don't
was.
think so, though. You think Liverpool deserves it more than you do?
I mean, like in terms of reparation, bro, we've never gone last day and had the hope of winning it.
Did last
Like
season.
they've done it. No, last season at no point we're losing that Everton game to like the 70th minute. Sir, we didn't even give ourselves a chance to even dream. But yeah, that's my obviously. I want my own team to win it. But if there's any silver lining, because I can't lie to you, this is Liverpool's Arsenal fan talking. When that fourth goal went in, I was like, yes, like this Pep guy, the harm that he has caused the collective, the last what 4 straight years. Like if they can lose every single game, somebody was saying they might lose 115. I'm on my knees. If this is their punishment, I want them to lose every game. But Adams is right. I don't think Liverpool is going to win every single game from now till May.
Oh, of course.
Is left on the other teams to keep them accountable and hope that not everybody plays them like Southampton. Because I'm not gonna lie, all the goals you scored against Southampton, God have mercy, mistake, bad touch, and penalty. You cannot keep getting away with this,
Bro, Southampton, please. When I see you, I need the same energy. Don't come and be doing.
No,
That's the thing about football. You see, another team will play Southampton, and then Southampton will just turn
they will
to
turn
prime.
But no, I'm really hoping the at least the title race is close. The guy runs away with it. Also, I also don't believe that this league is going to let Slots just enjoy his whole first season without any kind of obstacle. Not saying he won't still win it, but obviously, Paus is right. You're going to go through a stretch of games where maybe you lose two, maybe you lose a game, you draw one. Give pundits something negative to say, because right now the only negative thing is the whole contract situation with Salah and Alexander Arnold.
I was going to ask, specifically with Salah, right? Does anyone feel like, sure, he's right to say, I haven't gotten an offer, whatever, whoop-de-woo. Does anyone feel like the timing is extremely poor from a leader of the team? Because right now they're in good form. There's no distractions. Everybody is singing from the same hymn book. And I feel like you then throw this out there, kind of causing discord between the fan base and the ownership. You know what I'm saying? Like in a team that's already a well-oiled machine performing, moving in one accord, I feel like it's best to just say no comment on the contract situation. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go in depth. You don't have to be candid.
Maybe
No, I don't think I agree with your viewpoints.
Interesting.
Uzo.
I'd be annoyed, bro. There's nothing to write negatively about Liverpool right now, and then you bring this up, and now we're in the new cycle.
Nah,
But what's your perspective?
I don't see it that way. I don't see it. I don't think it's going to bring any sort of negative vibe to the team. I think all the fans, majority of the fans that have known since this season started, like since almost like the second game, Salah's contract has been in the air, and anytime you're speaking about it in his post-match interviews, it's like he has not done anything from the club. He wants to stay. He loves Liverpool. He wants to. Sometimes he has even some interviews. He has even said he wants to end his career in Liverpool, but the owners have not. He has not heard anything. His agent has not heard anything from anybody in terms of like in the top hierarchy of the club. So and I think him coming out now, because I think he's a bit worried. And listening to what one local Liverpool journalist was saying is Salah doesn't most of the time doesn't always want to do interviews, but after yesterday's game, he walked up to the journalist to say, "I want to speak. I want to talk." And then that was when he said he's worried that this is December and he hasn't seen anything. So he doesn't. He loves the club, but nothing comes up.
You used to ask.
Adams, doesn't that feel selfish? Though it's like, They
No,
haven't given me bread.
I don't think so because these guys have a track record of not tying down their players. At
Yeah.
least just based off what you've seen, even from last season, why don't you just pay the man? And I don't think
Exactly.
Salah wants to even be paid too crazily because this is his contract is ending this season. Like after this season, he can go anywhere for
For free,
free
yeah.
basically. And it's December, and you've not. I don't know what they are waiting for. I think maybe they want to move on from him or
I
something.
don't
I
think
don't
they would
know.
have expected to be in a title race too.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like whenever I watch Salah play, he's one of the ugliest footballers ever. Not ugly because of the way he looks. It's just he knows how to just get his GA. Like every single game he plays, he's going to live with something. Whether it's pretty or it's not pretty, he's going to live with something. And
He's
he
living
just
with
makes
his
it again.
GOA.
Bro, when I went to Philly, like the goal he scored, I was like, nah, this guy cannot be 32. Still so sharp. Bro, the guy smokes Zinchenko and Gabriel.
32 is still young though.
No, I'm saying, but like 32 hazard age, like it's not that 32 is not the same as Salah's zone. So sorry, Adam, you walked directly into
Bro, as I was playing soccer aid.
bro. Hazard is playing town sports, man. Greenhouse blue.
As I they do skits.
Bro, Hazard is playing with
As I they do
Black
skits.
man and Kata
The
FA.
guy Baba shop the red Tottenham jersey. They say remove.
Bro, so I'm saying, man, at
I'm sorry.
32, still that sharp. I don't know. Like
Man.
when I was watching the stuff, I don't know, man. If I'm Liverpool owners, I don't know why they are hesitating. Maybe they don't want to pay him.
I said this the last time we talked about the contract. You never want to pay for what you are seeing. You want to pay for what you will see.
Yeah,
And if
I think
next
I
season
think that's what
now,
they're looking at.
if
Yeah,
they
that's
give
what
this
they're
guy
looking
350 bands and next season he comes and has a Ronaldo 18-19 performance, guys will say FSG were stupid. You have to know when to move on.
I
You
mean,
can't be
but
sentimental.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
okay, but the
at.
thing
And
is,
the same thing.
I think that's where that's one of the things I think the
No.
owners are looking at.
Well, take it though. It's Salah. man.
And sorry,
But
to
really,
come-
Bias,
I think-
bias.
Adams, that's what everybody said about Ronaldo when he came back. Is Ronaldo is a legend, this and
No,
that.
but Uzo,
when the guy
Uzo.
started standing and not pressing for 17 straight games,
No,
their
that
price-
one is fine. That one is fine. But what is annoying, so especially like someone like my dad was saying, his own problem is Saudi came in with crazy money for this guy last year. If this was on your mind that okay, we're going to move, Klopp is going to leave, we're going to rebuild. Why didn't you say even this summer? Saudi was knocking on the door saying we can give you around 120 mil. Let's get him off your hands. Why don't you sell him? Now
So
you
then,
are
Chooks, you know what?
for free.
So Chooks, then you know what that tells me. Then they're gonna renew him.
Yeah,
You heard it
I
here
mean,
first.
you have to and just live with
Because
the
if they weren't gonna renew him, they would have sold him. You're right. Because
Yeah, like,
FSG are
you
not one
have
to
to
let
renew
anybody
him.
work for free. They sold Henderson for goodness sakes.
yeah, and
Like, they actually got money for him.
The only thing that makes me hopeful as a rival that wants Liverpool to slow down is the minute you lose 2 games and Salah plays bad, boy oh boy, you already know Sky. Those United pundits are going to jump on it.
That's exactly why I'm saying I don't know why he cracked the door open to this. Because you're right. The moment there's any kind of adversity, they'll say,
Yup.
"Oh, what is FSG doing?"
Yeah, like what is the plan? Should you renew him?
Exactly.
It's
That's
normal.
I think he's setting himself up to continue to deliver. And I mean, listen, right now to me, he's the best player in the league. He's been performing as the best player in the league. Unquestioned. People try to prematurely give it to one freezing guy in North London Blue. I mean West London Blue, but let's respect heritage. Let's respect the tapestry that this guy has given the league for years.
Yeah,
I think he's the best player in the league.
sorry, not Hazard. Salah is one.
Yeah,
Adam,
Salah's
I
one
hope
right
you know
now.
who is- I hope you know who is number 2.
And Chooks, I'm coming to that because I wanted to actually echo what Adam said, right? I'm holding my hands up. Saka, fairs. Yeah, fairs. The thing is, I just didn't think he had it in him. That's just the simple truth. This guy was hinky me jinky left back. The guy used to turn like a bus. And now what can I say? Like, there's nothing to be said. The guy is
Yeah, man.
unquestionably
Salah needs to
one of
leave
the
this
best players
league,
in the league.
man.
Chicks, that was what I even wanted to just sort of like ask you, like, so like I think Adams was saying something like everybody is sort of agreeing now that Saka is like world class, like it's world class level. You get. So the next step, like Adams was saying, is can you win your team the Premier League? So I think there's been that argument that Saka's numbers have not always been that good, for majority of his Arsenal career. Like people have said like he needs to step up his sort of like numbers, maybe goals. I don't know. I'm not sure about assists, but goals. So what do you think like he has a higher ceiling for you in terms of his goal output and he can definitely do
Man,
more?
his goals was not even my problem. Are you seeing he's leading the league in assists? 13 more, he breaks the record. I don't know if he's going to do it. The guy at this point, I don't think there is any. He's one of those guys where just give him boots and ball and put him somewhere. He's going to generate something. The only
That's
thing is,
something. That's something he shares with Palmer. Just people that don't need system. They
oh
don't need
yeah, like Palmer too. Like
overlapping
you
left
don't
backs.
you don't need
You
system.
don't need to be explaining why they're underperforming. Just give them ball and field.
Yeah, just give them ball. The only thing that will help Saka is someone else that is like whenever Odegaard plays Ben White, we need somebody central, kind of like Jesus, but an upgrade for Jesus because he can't do it with Havertz. Havertz is not the kind of player that is going to bring out the best in Saka.
Hold
No,
up,
I mean, but like, because,
hold up.
Davis.
We're not speeding past that.
no, and I'm gonna get back to your point. Uzo, do you know why that game reminded you of 22-23? Is
No
because of
Havertz.
Jesus. Because whenever
No.
Havertz is on,
I was
we
eating
played-
the
we
wrong Chelsea meal, not the Declan Rice.
we
Wait, no,
played
Chicks, I like
long
this meal
ball.
you're cooking better.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's the meal you should have cooked. When Havertz is on, we play the long balls, and that's also what has helped him get some assists. He has how many to Havertz this season? Like 3, 4. If you want to get that goal scoring Saka, you need somebody like Jesus, that kind of striker that is not, he's not a target man. He's not a footballer. He's just there to kind of occupy space and move around. Once we get an actual Gabriel Jesus that is a footballer, then you can now mix and match with Havertz. It's just like what Man City did with Alvarez and Haaland. You need Haaland, but in some games that you need Alvarez. All the long balls and trying to thread the needle is not going to work. That's all that we're missing. And man, Bukayo, once Salah leaves, we are going to rain terror on this league. Before I even go to Turkey too, like Salah, grow our hair out.
There's one man that has something to say about this. Kulusevski. Now listen. Now listen.
Guys, Pius, end the episode.
Now listen.
We need to save this platform.
No.
Adams, we need to save this platform.
No. We
Adams,
went to,
please.
I
We need to save this platform.
I went to
Adams,
the head
I'm
of the
begging
table
you.
and I allowed everybody to get their rocks off.
Adams, I'm about to
He's
leave
saying,
now.
saying
We went to the
Kulusevski's
deck
gonna
hard.
rival Saka.
We went to the deck hard
I'm
and
on
we
my
dropped
knees,
4.
man.
We dropped 4 on the champion elect. The
Come
4
on,
in a
come
row
on.
champions, the
I
Centurions,
was actually
the
getting
treble
shout out
winners.
Kulusevski,
So
not
I
this
get
way,
to
bro.
listen. Adams was saying some unimaginable things after beating Wolves away.
Bro, what did I
Wolves were
say?
winless. Wolves were winless. He told me that Palmer
I
is the best
said-
player in this league. He told me that Noni Madueke has
I didn't
world
even
class
say that.
potential.
I didn't even
He said-
say that.
You told me that Noni Madueke was top 5 right wingers in this league.
I
There were a lot of
never
fans
said
committed. So after I go to the deck hard and I drop 4 on the champions, I can say anything
Is that
that
what we're
I
doing now?
wanted to
I'm just
say.
making up stuff that I didn't say.
Adams was saying anything here. In fact, they were saying Gusto is the best right back in the world, all kinds of strange things. So now, all I'm saying is, can we have a moment for my boy, Kulusevski, bro?
Kulusevski.
That was a world-class performance. He may not be world-class yet because he needs the consistency. He needs a lot. He needs the goals. He needs the assists. He needs all of that. But that performance, bro, that's one of the best performances that I've ever seen first player. And it's up there with Kane.
You know what?
It's up there with Bale.
I have one question for Uzo. What do you think is Tottenham's problem when it comes to consistency? Because the game against Ipswich and the game against City is like 2 different teams. Same players who even what is even funny is people went to the Etihad with Dragusin and what's his name?
Ben Davies.
Ben
Ben,
Davies.
Ben Davies that Saka used for stew last year at the Tottenham Stadium and left with a clean sheet.
But that's the thing, though. That's the
We-
thing with Chooks.
we
Difference
went.
in the game. Do you know how many shots they considered against Man City?
Did any of them go inside?
Huh?
Did any of those shots go inside?
But see, Adams, it's not even about the shots we conceded, right? It's not about it's not about the shots we conceded. The way we play, right? We're gonna concede chances. We already accepted that, and we've actually cleaned it up a lot this season. But it's about how we are going the other way, and that's where Chooks' question is absolutely correct, because you look at the team, and it's not the same team. And to break the fourth wall a little bit, me and Chooks were talking, outside of the show, and it's a young. To me, I just finally realized this is symptoms of a young team. I think we're the second youngest team in the league behind Brighton, and it shows. It shows. All of our signings this year, besides Sri Lanka, who's 26, they were all sub 19, sub 18-year-olds. Bergval coming in, 18-year-old. Archie Gray, 19-year-old. Odo Bear, 18-year-old. These are guys that are for the future. These are guys. Even Dragosin, he looks like 35. Guys, 20. Mickey Van der Ven, 21. These are young kids. So again, I'm reminded now.
Is 20.
Yes, either 20 or 21. So these are guys that are very much so for the future. They have a lot of development to come.
I must have heard that before somewhere.
Okay, so Jackson is 22. I just wanted to correct myself, 22. But these are people that are like investments for the future. They're not guys that we're bringing in that we want them to have an impact right away. So it's not an excuse for the manager, but when you're seeing the inconsistency, that's a classic red flag on a young team. Not being able to raise yourself up to the expectation constantly and playing to the level of your opposition. So for me, I think that the way that I'm looking at this season now, especially after that City performance, that's one of those fixtures that then you can look at a young team and you can tell them, look, that's how good you can be. And all that you really need to reach that level consistently is to apply yourself in every game and prepare the same way, approach it the same way. And I feel like that's a platform that you can build. I remember when Klopp first came into Liverpool, right? The season before they went on to challenge, there was that 4-1 destruction of Man City in the league, where Salah scored the chip from like midfield. Then they went on to beat them in the Champions League, and they went on to, I think, get to the final that year before they won it the next year. So for me, that's one of those fixtures that you cannot point to and say, you know what, that's your level. That's what you're capable of. If you just continue to apply yourself, if you just continue to develop. And then as you continue to go, you get more and more consistency going forward. So for me, I was very encouraged with the performance. We've always been City's bogey team, but this performance felt a little different from performances of before. It'd be like 3-2, 2-1. We just they pepper us all day. We nick the result, or we just better than them in like key moments. This really felt like an absolute demolition. The first 10 minutes we were absolutely under the cuff, and you're right. On a different day, we could be down 2-0 within 10 minutes, right? But from that 10-minute mark, when our goal went in, they didn't look like they could ever come back in that game. Their attacks became tame. We managed the game. This is the same team that has been accused of high line, being naive, etc. We played a professional performance, and I feel like all of that was just down to the players' focus and the players just rising their level. And honestly, Dan Kulusevski, that performance was absolutely out of this world. He literally was everywhere on the pitch. He was winning all the physical battles. He was absolutely accurate and pinpointing his passing. His pressing was A1. He was just a terror the whole game. And it kind of reminded me, and I know Adams is going to hate this because when I made this comparison, I think 2 weeks ago, you hated it, but I saw a lot of Hazard against us at the Battle of the Bridge in that performance. Because at the Battle of the Bridge, it just felt like there was one man on the pitch who was just unstoppable, and there's nothing you could have done to prevent what he was going to do to you. And he had his way the entire second half of that game. Watching Kulu in that game, I was like, you know what? Someone that can just ride challenges in the middle of the pitch, progress the team almost by himself, even in a crowd, find passes, etc. It was an absolutely amazing performance. And it's weird. I wasn't here for the Ipswich performance, so you know what? I'm speaking without filter. There's been an agenda to paint me as a runner. Now, everyone on this platform has missed an episode after their team lost. Adams used to take vacation. He used to go to the Maldives. He used to go to the listeners don't know because you just say, "Oh, Adams is not here today. We got a Chelsea guest." We were worried about our pioneer, our general overseer. We didn't want to ruin his image, so we'll say, you know what? we have another Chelsea fan, so Adams is taking the episode off. In reality, this guy was in Maldives. He was in Dubai. He was kicking sand, going to go do soul searching. Like Chooks like to say, he was on LinkedIn looking for the next manager, doing all kinds of research. When Chelsea were getting piped left and right last season, there was no complaint. Pius has used all his PTO for the next 2 years, all from last season after they bottled the league. The guy he didn't like football again. He became only Nige, all kinds of things. Chooks, you already know Chooks. Chooks will tell you that he prefers not to speak. PGMOL representative.
I'm at least I'm here.
So one performance.
We had to go
guys,
to daycare to look for you.
No.
Went to multiple daycares. We're like, where's our guy? Ask Adam. Adam, he doesn't know. We're searching. Went to church, daycare.
Nah,
We're like,
these guys moved the day of the episode to a day
we're
that we don't
asking.
normally record.
We're
And they
asking.
set me up. I was set up from the core. I
We
will speak without my lawyer.
You were not set up. You were. We
went
sent
to
messages.
went to Hutchinson Avenue, looking for who was throwing long balls like the lap. We couldn't find the guy. A bicycle kick on your team. Nah. You are very lucky you were not here. Ipswich had not won a game.
I'll be real. If I was here after the Ipswich performance, and I actually didn't watch that game, I fell asleep. I woke up, I saw the result, and I honestly couldn't believe it. Like, I just didn't think there was any way that we could win that game. I mean, we could lose that game. I felt like there was zero chance. And it's one of the most shocking results of Angie's tenure for sure, by far. And if I was here after that, I probably would have said some things that I can't take back. So in a sense, it's probably for the best, eh? So it's for the best that I kept my thoughts to myself. But honestly, bro, it's the mark of a young team. It's the mark of a team that is struggling for consistency.
One thing I want to accept though is when you say that's just how my team plays. We just concede chances. I don't get.
No, I said the style that we play, we will concede chances. If you look at Bayern, if you look at Real Madrid, you look at City, the style that they play, they concede chances.
But they don't concede chances. Nah, it's not to the degree.
This season, wait, Adams, let me stop you. This season, you realize we have actually considered way less XG than, like, we've considered less goals than pretty much everyone except Liverpool and Arsenal, and we've only considered one more goal than Arsenal. One. So we're actually, again, people have not been watching us, so they're still running the same kind of like, oh, Spurs are too open. He's changed it. The reason why I've come around on the manager is because he has changed it. We've been less open, we've been less risk averse, and what we're now trying to eliminate is those momentary lapses. And it all comes back to the attack. If we can't score goals to put the other team away, and you allow them to hang around too long, they will eventually get a chance. It's the Premier League. It's a tough league. So for me, I've actually seen enough where I'm like, you know what? We're not just open and conceding chances for fun anymore. I'm looking at the table. I'm like, we have one of the best defenses in the league, and we're missing two center backs. Goalie just went down. So Vicario just had an ankle surgery. So he's probably going to be out for 3-4 months. So now we're stuck with Fraser Foster in goal. So it's looking very peak as far as the season. But where I have confidence is the system doesn't change, the personnel does. And I'm seeing a team now that has an identity. They're inconsistent, so I can forgive that. I can always forgive inconsistency. What I couldn't forgive is if the identity itself is faulty. And I feel like he's changed it, he's tweaked it. I'm willing to give him a chance, give him a shot at the end of the season, and let's see where we can be at the end of that. My tagline is we're all in this together. If City is not going to win this league, listen, nobody should say anybody should run away with it. I've been saying Pius. But honestly, Adams, I'm looking at you. Chooks, I'm looking at you. If Pep is not going to win this league, why are we sitting back and allowing this guy?
Why not? You are about to play Liverpool. Go there. Go and get the results.
Listen, I'm saying this. We're all in this together.
Let's cook, man.
There's no it's just a tight race.
Let's get through the segment. I'll just be with you, man.
No, but for real, I will appreciate a close race. But guys need to go get results against you. Can't be what Southampton did. They need to be expelled immediately. If I was the league one, I'll give everybody 3 points. The weekend you play Southampton, don't play. Just collect 3 points.
Yeah, just send those boys home, give them their check, let them go on to for championship. They clearly don't want to be here.
They don't want to be here. Every other team, at least, there's some fights. But no, you guys are gonna play. I don't know if it's at your stadium or Anfield. We need to see it.
No,
Can't
it's
be
yes.
all talk
We're
now.
able
You,
to, able
you
to
go
talk
there now.
now,
You
man.
can now at
The
least
thing
just
is,
2-1.
everyone knows, Chooks, I have only three Super Bowls. The North London Derby, those blue bottle jobs, and Liverpool, bro. I'm sorry. I hate Liverpool to the core. I hate that fixture. It's giving me so much pain over time. They robbed me of my only shot at immortality. So I'll forever hold that against them. So Pius, I'll see you, huh? We'll get slotted together and we'll finally give him a real test of this league. I don't know. He thinks this league is dust. He thinks this league is cake. So don't worry. And
Yeah,
just keep really white. We're
next
coming.
Wednesday we
We're
have
coming.
something tantalizing at the Emirates. George,
Next Wednesday. Oh,
George.
Arsenal
So
United.
is the United Chicks, is the United game midweek?
Yeah, midweek Wednesday.
Ooh,
And John is
that's
ready
Arsenal
to
sad.
come
United.
back, man. He said he's been misunderstood. He's
Listen,
ready to
Adams,
come back and
let me tell you
redeem.
right now, if they lose that game to Arsenal, the only judge you will see here is one of those Nigerian men wearing wig. That's that's the only judge you will see here.
Oh my
One of
goodness.
those Niger
You know what?
barristers
You know
wearing,
what?
wearing judge wig.
Let me not get too far ahead of myself. Oh my God, Adams, I have the perfect missing poster for George. Like it just came to me right now. All you need to pray for is that we win.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, with me, bro. I'm willing to lie. I'll lie that I texted George the proper time for the show. Allow us to record. We can get down to business. No, but
Wow,
Nah,
it's
that
actually
honestly,
game.
from what I've
it's
seen
actually
of Amorim, it's not going to be a quick turnaround over there, United. And honestly, he's not that kind of manager. He's going to need
it's
a
just
lot of.
one game now. Come on.
No,
What
no,
have you seen in just one game?
bro, he's playing pragmatic against Ipswich. He's not ready, bro. He's not ready to turn it around right now. For me, he needs a couple more transfer windows. He needs to get some profile. The thing about that back three, and you know this with Conte Adams, I know it with Conte. You need some specific characters, and two of those specific characters, you need the wing backs that can handle. Mazraoui is good, but you're not doing it with Dallo. You're not doing it with any of the. They're not wing backs. Ahmad cannot be playing wing back for you. That's a huge hamper to the system because those wing backs are the key to the entire system. When he had Pedro Porro over there in Sporting, like you could see like what he was doing, the way he was able to get up the pitch. So I think he's a couple transfer windows away from being
All I'm
serious.
saying is, please bring that Johnny Evans, Casemiro, and Ericsson line up to the Emirates, please.
Bermuda Triangle, bro.
That is
Bermuda
It's
a
Triangle.
combined age
actually next Wednesday.
of
Wow.
95.
Wow.
Please bring them. Now, but
So
I didn't watch the game, but any manager that starts there at the back in top six, I don't just take you serious. That's always been me. I told you about Conte too. Like there at the back is for me is just to, if you cannot have two center backs that are going to hold it down, and obviously he doesn't have the players, and that person too that needs, like one day we need to bring George here and just flog him. Somebody tweeted it, right, that they looked at the amount of money Ten Hag spent and what is left there. Like even I was listening to Sky's coverage on YouTube this morning. Roy Keane was like that. He looked at the bench and he was wondering to himself, where's all the money gone? Like there's nothing on the bench to even bring on. And this against
Quality.
Ipswich.
like bro, we laugh at Chelsea spending $1 billion, but at least you can see they have an A and B team
Now you guys
of,
are
of like actual talent.
It's not the right time yet.
No,
Hey,
but
man,
United,
Adams,
no,
Adams, Adams,
United
give
have
me,
spent a lot of money, and honestly, Ten Hag should be tried for fraud.
bro, Adams. At
He should be
least
tried for
they
fraud.
should have given you the keys. Adams knows how to go to market and price. Bro, they gave Ten Hag 5K, man. He only bought one cortina. Came home with one cortina, bro.
The guy bought Amiri shirt and Gucci belt, and he's
Hey,
wearing
man.
Walmart sweats
George
to complete the outfit.
George told me that
Craziness.
he's collecting 3 points at the Emirates. I don't know.
This
I'm
reminds
looking
me
at
of
that.
Chelsea before last year's fixture. Remember when Adams and OPP or whatever his name is were here making some
Yeah,
strange
we need
calls.
to bring OPP back, by the way. When Chelsea, now that Chelsea the
Oh, P.
So bring before that sports game. December fixture.
No, chill.
We need that.
Calm on. Bro. At the
Adam,
end of the day,
we need that, bro.
Chooks,
But I'm not even seeing. I'm not even seeing
Fraser
videos.
Foster. I'm not going into any
Yeah,
fixtures.
man.
Let's
I don't
calm
know.
on.
You guys that watched that Man U game, I don't know. Me, I'm choosing any team that is, below 10th place. I'm not going to waste my time doing all that.
Honestly,
But
I think
I'm
I
going to
think
work
I
on
think
them soon.
I think United fans should just the view for the season should just be let him get his style implemented. Forget about league. But they keep telling me, oh, we're 1 point behind Spurs with it. The season is done. Ten Hag ruined the season. This is a perfect chance for the manager to come in and see what he has, what he's working with, and then make the corrections over the summer and in
But
January when
do you guys think he's the one that's going to
I don't
me?
see it. I
Me,
don't
I
see it.
don't, because
I say they should have gotten Nagelsmann. They should have gotten
again,
Nagelsmann.
I'll always say it, man. Any manager that is coming to this league to play three at the back for a team that has high ambitions, is because the thing is,
If it
when
was
when you eventually get your own players in
United three at the back, I don't
three
know,
at the
man.
back,
It feels so weird. It
Yeah,
doesn't feel like a good
United is just
marriage.
like, nah,
it's
all those
not.
guys, all
It's
those
not.
guys. Yeah, but if it was Chelsea, I honestly thought I think it would have worked because I wanted him to come to Chelsea. But for United, I don't know, man. I don't think.
Nah,
Even with
that
Liverpool, he was linked, and I think they said he ended up I think he ended up
Yeah.
like declining or he was flirting with West Ham, some rubbish. But even that wouldn't have been a
No,
good
I don't
fit.
think that Liverpool
Like
was
like
too.
just imagine Liverpool playing three at the back. It wouldn't feel normal.
I think Liverpool, our CEO Richard Hughes has already said Slot was the man right from time. All those Amorim was nah.
I mean, why won't you say it now? Now that Slot is cooking, why don't you say it?
No, it was not even now. It was even then when the speculation was like, nah,
Now,
it's not that man.
but that turn the back, I always say it, man. The aim of the game, especially as the top
But the
side.
variation of his three at the back is almost like like we see all these formations, and then in the game it develops into something else. So it's almost like the way Chelsea has it too, or the way you guys have it, playing three center backs. It's
Nah,
almost
that's not. It's not the
No,
same.
it's not the
His
same.
system is very. He's a 3-4-3, and he needs those. For one, he's going to need a midfielder, right? That's honestly, you know who's going to be the first person out of this team is Bruno,
I don't think so.
because 3-4-3 doesn't really leave room for a cam.
Yeah, it
That was
doesn't.
one of the biggest issues that Conte had with Ericsson. Is the biggest issue he had when we were trying to sign Madison when Conte came in, and he said no. He denied the transfer because there's
Yeah,
no
you
room for a
can't.
cam in a
You can't.
3-4-3, and
You can't.
you can see where he dropped Bruno towards the kind of like he dropped him deeper during the game. I don't know. It's going to be tricky. He's going to need his profiles for sure. He's one manager that's definitely you can't play that. It's too intricate a system to play with a mismatch of profiles. You need guys that are specialists at doing what they do. You need wing backs that can bring the ball up,
Bro,
that
he
can
has a
defend.
chance to be the funniest thing ever, man. Convert Anthony into a wing back.
Hey, Anthony was doing good defensively. One of the best defensive wingers, right? The guy is very combative. I don't know. Maybe that would be the thing to resurrect his career. But 90 million there. What was the other waste of money that he did? I think what 50, 60 million on Casemiro. Just
Oiland was
he
what, 80 million or something?
I think, and then Xerxes was another like 40 something. It's just I don't know. I think as much as the recruitment has supposedly improved, there's been a lot of funds committed to the wrong places. So he's gonna need a huge ton. He's gonna need some bargains too as well. You got to go shop in like
Yeah, let them come with Chelsea, man. I might have one or two guys for them.
seeing Les.
Exactly.
Hey, Ugo Shuko was moving against Liverpool though. He was moving.
Oh, did you see that big man, the Nigerian striker? Where the Pirates
On
go?
watch you.
Yeah.
Only night has commenced. It might be time to end the episode.
Paul Onuachu was from superstar against Liverpool.
Yeah, he was trying to move differently.
Please. Yeah, we have to end the episode. Me, I have more Amarin cookings, but I have to say it's off cam.
So the fixture for next week is Liverpool City. We'll be back to discuss that. Chelsea, Aston Villa. That's another silently
Man,
sweet one.
please, Adams, I need you to spank that vampire. Who was on this platform talking about Emery? Is see him? Next thing you know, we'll go to daycare to look for him. We'll not see him. Emery,
Hey, listen.
every 1, 2, 3 games, better manager.
Listen, he's still killing it in Champions League. I don't know, man. He's still killing it in Champions League.
Aston Villa, they are winless in their last 6 games. Wow.
I beg, let's make that 7. I beg, or 8.
Please. My dark horses.
Wow.
I have never needed a horse to be dark as I need you guys to be this weekend. You cannot let Emery live with anything.
Let me look at the table, bro. Newcastle lost to
Yeah,
West
they
Ham.
lost. Wan Bissaka goal, man. The guy left United and he has known nothing
Bro,
but
Wan-Bissaka would have fit that system though. That's
Yeah, now that's someone that would have fit the back five for sure. He could have played as a right-sided CB.
Kai Ahmad. Ahmad's only crime is being black. Because there's no way I'm hearing that he played wing back.
Yeah, that was
Very, very
poor.
talented boy too,
That
man.
was poor. I think he
He
should
needs to
have
leave
played
that club.
where Garnacho played, and they should have played
pretty good.
maybe when Luke Shaw gets fit and stuff, he'll have better personnel. But I feel for the guy. You can't implement a 3-4-3 with those G's, man. But the table is taking shape. Adams, you're right. 1 or 2 losses, you can go from third to seventh to eighth. It's mad in the Dunya. 7 points separate third place and 14th. Madness. Madness. It's the Super League. The English Super League. We just need to stain slots white, and that's it. But honestly, boys, we're coming to the end of the episode. Um, we missed you guys. I know you guys have missed us. All four. The banter was flowing. Expectations are set. Finally, we don't have any bad teams on the panel. Everybody's holding their legs. No excuses. Let's vibe. We're going into the business end of the season. This Christmas period, games are going to be coming. Like Pirates likes to say, thick and fast,
Think of
with lots of
fast.
twists and turns.
In fact,
So
next weekend we'll be reviewing Liverpool City and then previewing Arsenal United. Woo.
sheesh, sheesh. So hey, look, it's looking tantalizing. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, comment. You guys like start a dialogue, argue with us. We don't always say the right thing, so call people out. We like to drive more engagement. If you guys like to see more of these episodes, um, we need more PTO. So the more likes and subscriptions we get, Pius can take his holiday to the Alps,
I'm telling you, man. Or to the Maldives, or to
to the
Zanzibar.
Maldives. That's Adam's special. Or to Greece, Santorini, Greece. You see Adams wearing slippers and shorts because they've caned Chelsea 3-0. But it's all good. All right, see you guys next week. Signing
All
off.
right, guys. Cheers.
Now, bro, I'm telling you, man. I was saying from beginning of the season,